very important, obviously. I said to my boys just now, this is the response I already anticipated for last week going into the game of Minnesota. We were switched on from the start today, ready for a fight, played when necessary. I think in midfield the change worked out quite good today with Johnny Shaw back in the starting 11. And as you say, a tough side to play, Philly, but the guys handled themselves quite well, especially looking at the games that we came from.
Go with Justin.
Hey, Coach. Justin Egan, the outfield. Can you talk a little bit about how you wanted to handle Philly's press? We saw a lot of balls over the top and quick restarts.
Yeah, we were trying to find a combination of both. They play on the front foot with a lot of energy going forward, pressing forward. So we knew there were basically two choices. Either you use a small window in order to get that free man on the ball, which we managed to do a few times in the first half and a few times in the second half. But you can also play over the top and get the second ball and then make them move from left to right. And that's what we did quite well over 2 periods. However, especially in the first half, whenever we got that second ball, found the free man, we didn't expose their weakness enough. We kept the ball on the same side and gave them an extra opportunity to get a new duel. So that is something that we'll have to address and keep working on. But a strong pressing side like Philly is, like I said, 2 choices: use the small window or go over the top and make sure you play second ball.
Alec?
Hey, Coach. Bulletproof win, if I may say so.
Yeah.
Something I just wanted to, something I was thinking about watching the game. Philly's a team that likes to send in a lot of crosses specifically, and specifically from the left side through Kai Wagner. A lot of the build-up in the press and a lot of our build-up period felt like it came on the right side. Was that intentional, or just it was just where they find a little bit more joy?
That was the moment whenever they got the opportunity to switch sides, because we preferred in the first pressure to have them play over their left side, especially when they started to build low. It was an interesting situation because during halftime I had to address something that we anticipated if they didn't play over the top. They play with 2 6s, and if they have the time and the space, they would find one of the 2 6s if we didn't close the middle enough. So once they put it over the top and won the second ball, they could switch us from our left side to our right side, and that's when the crosses came in. But I think the guys handled themselves quite well, because even though we blocked a few crosses, you have some duels in the box, and that's where we stood up as big men and defended the box quite well today.
Scott?
Hey, Coach, how are you? Scott Church and Stream Punk Soccer. Congrats on the 3 points.
Thank you.
Talk a little bit about the weather in this case here, how that affected the play, and your way of having to adjust to that. Thanks.
The weather, right?
Welcome to New York.
Well, no, the weather is fine, because if there's a little rain, it makes the pitch go a little faster as well. So that's a good thing. However, I was told just now that the pitch has been adapted to the football pitch since Thursday, maybe, or so. So that is something that you have to anticipate and deal with, obviously. But weather-wise, there was no problem. One of my boys said going out, we have to be ready for a dogfight. The weather was also that type of weather, and the reaction and the response of the team was quite good and as expected.
We'll go with Shane, followed by Andrew.
Hey, Coach. Shane O'Brien with AM New York.
Hi, Shane.
It was Augustine Ojeda's first start since the first game of the season. Can you explain your thinking behind that? Was that something specific for Philadelphia? He had quite an influence on the game from the left side.
Yeah, Agu played a good match, and I'm very happy for him. You mentioned he had a first start in Miami away. He did really well in that game as well. Had a strong pre-season. But unfortunately, as you guys know, he missed one moment when he was too late, and the other guys stepped up, and the team did quite well in that phase of the league. I'm also a coach that gives opportunities to guys, so even though the wingers were not always switched on well enough, the starting position didn't go to Agu. now the moment was there because Juli was not in his best shape in the past few games. So then the other guys have to step up, and Agu is one of them. And I'm totally on board when we say to each other, Ojeda played a really good match today. So I'm very happy for him, and hopefully he can continue this. But it wasn't based on tactics or strategy looking at Philly.
Hi, Coach. I'm Andrew Lee with Hudson River Blue. You started Justin Hack and Thiago Martins in center back tonight. You've had to sort of reshuffle the back line a lot early in the season due to injuries, absences, things like that. Are you looking to find like a consistent group that you sort of rely on and sort of roll with consistently in your defense, or is it? I know you've praised sort of the ability for Justin to play in the midfield and central defense. So is it? Do you expect him to keep moving back and forth, or are you kind of looking to figure out your perfect combination in the back?
Well, the perfect combination is having a right-footed player on the right side and a left-footed player on the left side. That's always easier to play good possessional play. However, you mentioned Justin and what he can add to the team. Today, again, he was strong in the air. He was strong on the ball, even though he's right-footed. And he gives us a lot of options playing from the back because he's that comfortable on the ball as well. Very calm and composed. But it's basically making sure they keep high standards and a high level. And Burke obviously is a player who is also competitive and wants to play. Thiago missed out on pre-season, is one of our top players in the defense. Fullbacks have been quite stable throughout the first 7-8 games. So that is the position that I'm looking at, but also looking at what we want to add during a game. More guys stepping up in midfield. Then the profile of Justin applies more to that situation as the situation was today, because I expected Justin to do the things that he especially did in the second half, is step in and making sure you have the 2v1 on the side with Kevin and speed up play either on the outside or on the inside, and he did quite well.
We'll go with Joe.
All right, thanks. Coach, you just said about how you're looking to add, and we got a little less than 2 weeks before that main transfer window closes, start the season. Concern about trying to find somebody, or do you think you have somebody who can step in when you have to pull Maxi out? Because it seems that the team changes a lot without his influence.
Changes in what way? What sense?
Aggressiveness, distribution. I think was more defensive-minded.
Well, defensive-minded, I'm not quite sure if I'm on the same page with that, because if you put in Fernandes, who is also a very creative player, attacking-minded also. For Juli, it's a different situation. He's been playing on the right wing the majority of the games, but I think he is also able to add some qualities in the middle if we need them. But I do agree that Maxi has a great impact on our game, because he is by far the midfield player who creates the most chances for the attackers. But we also have to make sure that Maxi is always available for each and every game. So that's finding the balance right there. And we're trying new things also with Juli. We're trying new things with Johnny Shore. And I think we will manage with this midfield. About the opportunity using the window, I've mentioned this before. We want to get the right players in.